Gaza, Gaza, you were right. Free, free Gaza! Free, free Gaza!
As an organization, we have it in our statute that we are there for justice in Germany and freedom in Palestine and in all of historic Palestine. Because we were seeing so many arrests happening, like at like all the protests or like within Neukölln, we saw this like severe crackdown on the pro-Palestine movement. Therefore, we started like a GoFundMe, which was like the Berlin League Fund, basically focusing on Berlin and the efforts in keeping people on the streets, because obviously also repression comes with a lot of costs, and we didn't want the people to be alone.
One tactic of the German state is to re-arrest and recharge like the same couple of hundreds of people, because eventually like the people are not scared of the police anymore, the people are not scared of the German state, but if they fine you with so much money, eventually you will stop. And with Azwa, we want to give people legal advice, but also especially like support them financially and like fight back in the language that the state speaks, which is money.
As we met on the streets around like the 8th, 9th of October, and also with like recognizing that with all the arrests that happened, I think also like both of us experienced like a huge part of repression. I think since October I was arrested like around like 15 times. I think we were both taken to Gaza, having like our fingerprints taken, having all our tattoos written down.
Offer legal counseling and advice in 3 languages, so English, Arabic and German. In Berlin in general, like there are a lot of international people here who do not speak German, there are a lot of Arabic speaking people here who prefer to speak in Arabic, and we think it's really important to offer that plus our communication online and stuff in all those 3 languages. And we did this because a lot of other legal support structures in Germany that are there for leftists are not 100% in solidarity always with the pro-Palestine movement, as is an issue we see in Germany more broad, that within the left in other countries people are pro-Palestine, in Germany not. So there was a gap that we needed to fill.
We are touching a lot of people that really go on the streets, and also like people that face like a lot of repression, which is like the most rewarding feeling I think you can feel within this work, that you reach the right people. Because talking about like general leftist structures within Germany, we always have this recurring problem that like the actual movement that like fights for the rights of like people that is not themselves doesn't really touch people with migration background.
In general, the Netherlands is like tries to present itself as a bit more like progressive and open-minded and gay rights and migration, multicultural society. But also in the Netherlands, the pro-Palestine movement is getting beaten up and it's all more behind closed doors. And here in Germany, it's just very much in your face. Like in Germany, they're not ashamed of beating you up. They're not ashamed of raiding your house. They're not ashamed of like firing you from your job. You know, to them, it's like very normal, very clear cut. You are pro-Palestine. That means you are anti-Israel. That means you are anti-Semitic. And therefore we can surveil you, watch your social media, raid your house at 6 a.m., take you from legal demonstrations every week, fire you from your job. With the end goal, I think, in a lot of cases, to impact people's migration status. And that is why Azwa started.
Also have to think of our capacities and like building up like our structure and to like expand to like different capitals and like different cities within like Germany. It's really which is really important. Therefore we cannot organize like every weekend something, but for example also like this weekend we have a lot of We have like a pop-up raising funds also for Azwa. Then we're having a few different events.
Speaking demo.
Then we also like speaking at demonstrations, giving speeches in front of like court or other demonstrations for Palestine. We get a lot of feedback, positive feedback towards the work that we're doing. There's a lot of enthusiasm and also like a lot of excitement for it, because I think October 7th was a moment that like mass mobilized people. If we like are looking like within like political discourses, there's always certain moments in time which is mass mobilizing society to like, which is opening their eyes for like all the injustice that like happens within the world. I think it opens people's eyes within the West so much. Like people see how fucked up Germany is, how fucked up SPD, Die Grünen and all other center political parties are within Germany. Therefore, it also mobilized like a lot of people to actually see. I think there's a lot of people that say like Palestine teaches the world, and I think it really did. It really did. Also in Germany. A lot of people don't want to know it yet, but like they will know it at some point. For me, being German is, okay, I have to like question everything that is being put in front of me. I'm not gonna trust blindly the state. I'm not gonna just like go and think like, okay, a new established law is something that is like beneficial for me and just like is gonna protect me. We have to like think about like every set of new laws, what our government is doing, what our politicians are doing. You have to like question this, because with our history, it's about this and not just like blindly following a state and the government, why they are fueling their anger and putting their finding like the new scapegoat, which is like Muslims and Palestinians. Yeah, like one genocide doesn't justify another.
Where Germany might differ from other countries and other EU countries, where people like in other countries just turn a blind eye, like my family, or become very like apoliticized around this conflict. In Germany, you have an active army, I like to say, of pro-Israel people who will email your job, so you will get fired. We're talking about being followed. We're talking about being doxxed online, like so-called journalists who take it upon themselves to follow people around. And that is very scary. Very disappointed if like this is the moment that people stop going to the street, because of course it's not over. Liberation next. Like we need to continue fighting for a true free Palestine, like the existence of Gaza now as a ruin, and back in the day as like a closed off border that is not a free Palestine. So there is like so much work to be done there still, and in the same time the German state will also not rest with the ceasefire. Years we will still be dealing with the trials and the repercussions of the arrests and raids, etc., that have been happening in the past 1.5 years, especially when it comes to like the residency issues and impacts on residency status, because those are just trials that like take a really long time. And we hope that our pool of lawyers, or the pool of lawyers in Germany that is in solidarity with Palestine, also grows, so we can like have more impact in terms of appealing these cases until they go to the European Court. I hope and I think that the pro-Palestine movement here will not stop after a ceasefire, just like the German state will not stop with their repression, and therefore as well will not stop or grow any less.
Free, free!